Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of AWS Mastery course. In the last session, we have understood about the history and the evolution of AWS, but in this session, we are going to learn about the infrastructure of AWS, or specifically, we can say the global infrastructure of AWS, means like how globally AWS provides the things, like whether it's data center, regions, or availability zone. Okay, so we are going to learn about all these things, like what are these and what we can actually do with these things, like when we are learning AWS. So we are going to learn each and everything in this particular session. I will start my session with by saying a famous dialogue from Spider-Man Homecoming movie. So like the dialogue was, wherever I go I see his face. Okay, so just like that, wherever you will go you will see AWS. Okay, so whether it is India or any other country in the world, wherever you will go, you will see, AWS. Okay, so this is the, global map of AWS. Like in each and every country, somewhere like AWS having their region, availability zone, or I can say their edge center. So everywhere. So that's why I told you, like wherever I go I see his face. Okay, I'm not talking about the Iron Man, I'm talking about the AWS. Okay, so this is something, very much, fascinating about, AWS. So AWS is having the, total market control, and as of now AWS having, all I told you, like almost 40 or 45% market share, like as compared to any other cloud service provider. So now let's talk about like what are the things AWS actually offers when we talk about the AWS global infrastructures. So these things are like data centers, region, availability zones, or I can say we have, other things as well. So when we talk about, there are two things. The first one is global reach, and the second one is components. Means global reach means like in how many countries AWS is working, and what exactly, like how exactly the global landscape of AWS actually looks like, and the components AWS having on, I can say, in different regions of the world, or I can say on different places of the world. So when we talk about, AWS, global reach, so AWS having a very, vast global infrastructure network to ensure the high availability, scalability, and redundancy. So when we talk about AWS, so now the thing is, if I'm using a service, or if I'm using, a service where I'm just uploading my data or just storing my data, and I'm doing this in order to making myself sure that wherever I need this data, I can get this data easily. Okay, so I trust AWS because AWS provides and commit this, thing that AWS provides high availability of data. So let's suppose you are in India, you want to download something, and you just have, stored something into AWS. So whether you are in Dubai or any other country of the world, you can get that data easily. Means you can get retrieve your data or download your data easily. And scalability, so the thing is like you are having a server and you are having, specific kind of capacity. So wherever there is a, I can say, increase in the traffic, it can actually scale up automatically. Okay, so this is the power of AWS. Not just AWS, like we have other, cloud service provider which provides the same, but AWS is, I can say, is the hero in this segment, because AWS provides a very, user friendly services. AWS provides very, easy methods, I can say, implementing cloud computing as compared to any other cloud service provider. So if you compare cloud, Google Cloud Platform or Azure, you will see like the platform of Azure and, I can say, this GCP is quite tough, when you start, interacting with the platform. But AWS provides very easy, or I can say very easy UI platform. Okay, so this is the reason. And when we talk about the components, so we are having data centers, we are having regions, we are having availability zones, we are having edge locations. So we are having lots of components. So now let's understand about each and every components in a very detailed manner, and let's try to understand like what are these and why we use them, and what exactly the purpose of using all these, and why AWS actually building a, global infrastructure. So these things we are going to understand. So first we are going to talk about the data centers. So data centers are nothing but the physical facilities, or I can say a kind of a house or a warehouse where we are having lots of servers and like running over there. So maybe like years back, we have heard the news that like Microsoft soft actually did something for their data centers, and they were having data center in the sea or something like that. So data center is nothing but kind of a house where we are having lots of servers are running. So this is kind of physical facilities where people are working and they're just maintaining those servers and everything. So the purpose of these data center is to provide, I can say foundation for AWS, services by hosting the computing resource. So why we are using AWS? We need servers, we need virtual machines. And when we need virtual machines, we need server, we need computing resources. So at like somewhere in the world, like these things are working, because I've told you in the beginning, cloud is nothing but just renting out someone's other's PC. So these things are running somewhere, so these things are running in the data centers. Okay, now key features like high security. Like whenever we are talking about the AWS and the cloud, we are talking about the high security, we are talking about the what I can say data availability and the other things. These things are comes by default. Now let's talk about the AWS region. And AWS region basically geographic location housing multiple data center. So it is like we are India. So let's suppose India is the region. So in India we are having different data center. So this is the region. In region we are having different data center. So these things we can understand. So generally we use region. So wherever you will go to your AWS, I can say console. So at the top you will see like something is written like US, Mumbai or something like that. So this particular thing represents the region in which you are working on right now. Okay, region is basically you can understand like in which region you are working, and we can have the data in different region. Let's suppose you are working in Mumbai region, you can just replicate the data, you can just share this data into some other region. You can I can say store your data in different regions. So if there is any problem here, you can get the data back from a different region. So these are the things which we do when we talk about the regions. Now next thing is availability zone. So we are having region inside this region we are having data center, and I can say within the region we are having availability zone. So it is a kind of isolated location which we are having. So when we talk about the availability zone, like it actually improves the fault tolerance by distributing the application along multiple availability zone. So we are having different availability zone. So we are having something over here. So when there is any kind of disaster or fault, it is distributing that in different parts so that we can get the data easily. So like it is ensuring the high availability, durability and scalability. Now next thing is the key features of availability zone. It actually connects the low latency links for the high availability and fault tolerance related things. Means like you got the idea like what exactly we are talking about. So there is no need of repeating the same thing again and again. Now we have understood about the what I can say data centers, we have understood about the AWS regions, we have understood about the availability zone. And there is something called edge location. It is kind of a place where we can just sending something, we have servers over there, and it is actually keeping the copy. But why I'm not explaining here, because when we will be doing the cloud front CDN, so in that I will be talking about the edge location in a very detailed manner so that you guys can actually understand. But at this particular moment I don't think like it is necessary to start with. Now the benefits of AWS infrastructures. So these are the few things like high availability, scalability, resilience, fault tolerance. These are the things which we can actually understand when we talk about the AWS global infrastructure. So why AWS actually spending a lot on making the global infrastructure? Because AWS is ruling the cloud industry right now. Okay, and even the whole Netflix is actually working, NASA is actually using the services of AWS. So why these things are actually happening? Because AWS is having its presences all over the world. So when a company is having the presence all over the world, then that particular company is going to get customers from all over the world, because the services which they are providing are very much available for everyone, and they provide the solution for each and every problem. That's the reason AWS actually spending a lot for its spending its global infrastructure. Now when we talk about the region, so as you can see, this is the region we are having. Inside this region, we are having different availability zones. So let's suppose we are having availability zone A, availability zone B, availability zone C. So in all these three availability zone, we are having these, these buildings. So these buildings are, representing the data centers. So from here we are having a region. Inside the regions we are having different availability zone. In each and availability zone we are having a data center. So this is how it actually looks when we talk about the picture, the broader picture of, AWS global infrastructure. So in the whole world we are having the different region, we are having different availability zone, we are having different location where we are having the AWS services. So I hope you guys have understood about the global infrastructure of AWS, like how big it is and how AWS is the market player, or we can say largest market player in the field of cloud specifically. So that's it for now. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you so much.